Alright guys, Hank here. I'll do a quick tutorial to show you where we are now with about 192 mods, and that's not including some of the lighting effects and stuff that you'll find in Byrate Beck's tutorial on how to set up a very good game beyond vanilla. So I've seen a couple of things in Discord where people are asking about what load order and what mods and stuff are incorporated in. And mine is a little different because it's set for a very, very high difficulty, very, very high level of immersion. So I just figured I'd give you guys a quick look at this. Alright, this is my Nexus Mod Manager because I haven't upgraded to Vortex. I haven't found a need to. These are all my active mods. The ones I recently added: a Sinful West Tech Visor, which I have not yet added because I've been a little bit concerned about once you're up about 192 active mods and 199 plugins, you gotta get really careful because load order, there's a lot of things that can cause a system to crash. Okay. I've did all the updates for the West Tech optics because there were some. Probably the most important thing that I've added recently would be I need to update crafting mastery. Probably. Or maybe it's time to update I did update Thayer's mood lighting. Okay. Thalar. It's awesome. Okay. Freaking awesome. This version of We Are the Minutemen is far more stable than this Far West Minutemen, and then you also wouldn't need to include Crimson Rider's accessories. Okay, upgraded better locational damage because it's always important to keep that up to date. SKK Combat Stalkers. I'm right now kind of trying to work with integrating that with the new kind of game management. Let's see, let me pull up game configuration menu, because this is going to allow some spawns and the way that the timing of spawns and probability of spawns, which is something similar that SKK Combat Stalkers does, but Combat Stalkers does do a little bit different because it changes the AI. Very, very good changes in AI. It's amazing. And they'll stalk you, they'll hunt you, engage you. And I turn off all the notifications, so it makes it really friggin' dangerous, and that's why I have to move a little bit more slowly even through areas that I had already been moving through. I did put a fast travel in. I haven't used it yet, just so I could quickly travel to settlements in non-gameplay to see how Sim Settlements is interacting with the rest of the mods. I added glow sticks for fun. Find some other things. Sure. This is awesome. This is something you definitely are going to want to add. The standalone weapon optimization project. Freaking unbelievable, because a lot of times what you had seen before, where sometimes you'll pull up a weapon and you'll get empty hands, things of that nature. It makes it hard to pull up the weapon mods. right up into your hands. You'll end up with situations kind of like looking like this. So what it does is it makes it so it pops up a lot quicker. You're not waiting for that fast movement to transfer weapons, which when you're playing on that survival level difficulty that I've engineered here with agony and better locational damage, you've got to have access to your weapons in a very quick way. Probably a couple of things I had to patch here, most notably, I haven't had an opportunity to test yet, would be the Mac 11 machine pistol reduced recoil. Because I was finding the Mac 11 is a beautiful weapon in all respects. So freaking awesome. Sound, attachments, just the beauty of the weapon, the animation, it's all there. The problem is you go into a room and you can't hit, even in kind of a small internal room or a hallway, you can't hit what you're aiming. Now I know a real Mac 11 doesn't really have that level of accuracy either. You dump the entire clip into something. But it had, a real Mac has more accuracy than this mod. So we're going to check the patch and make sure that maybe perhaps one of what would have been probably my favorite mod is now actually a little bit more useful. So we definitely need to patch the remote explosives for better locational damage, because they're awesome. I'm just finding that they're not doing the damage. The only good one is the remote nuke. And for as useful as the remote explosives are and as fun as they are, it would be lovely to get a patch for that. And clearly I'm only one person. I can only do but so much. So I just put up everything that I can so you can see it all play tested and working together in concert. Okay, did go ahead and upgrade again the VIS and Radrose, which I do every time we come around to a new iteration of the game. This is the game configuration menu that I worked out in a previous live stream, the one that you see where I got swamped by Deathclaws because I had it overwritten my SKK. It took priority over my SKK stalkers in the way that it generated random PCs. Definitely you're probably going to want to do your icon libs load again. I think DFUI had to be loaded again. Now if you go to buy rate Beck's page, which is the best freaking place on Nexus Mods in my opinion, the guys, it's like if you don't know what you're doing, it's probably the best place in the world to start. Discord conversation's good over there too. The guy's amazing through and through. Really appreciate his work, so that's why I'm always trying to play test for him and others that are in this sector of the modding community, especially in better locational damage. Buy rate Beck is where you need to go. Okay. All out for mod list and load order guide. Now you'll find this over at my Steemit page. You'll also find the new load order, because I went from 185 to 192, and I haven't noticed any problems yet. I did have a freeze when all those Deathclaws popped up, but I kind of would have expected that. So, well, it happened. And I just didn't realize that my settings were basically going to get overwritten with the iteration, or the iteration that was added of the game configuration menu. And there's probably a little bit more playing around in the game configuration menu that I can do, but so far I'm fairly satisfied with the way that I got it set up. You can probably see that in one of my live streams. I know it's the live stream Agony season 1 is kind of painful sometimes, because it's raw. I don't have time to edit everything together. So when you come here, you know, play it at speed, or go to where you're trying to go in the video to see what I'm talking about specifically. Now I am compressing everything and preparing it for edits, so if I had time, or YouTube for whatever reason decided to monetize me and I could actually live without having to beg for donations or something like that, then I would edit these things together for you guys to be c'est la vie, such is life. So you'll find that Deathclaw Storm or Swarm freeze here. It's got the very beginning. Got my mic off real quick. These are all the settings I was going through. But what I didn't do was up here in the random encounter, working more with SKK or Pack Attack. I get some of these things confused a little. Obviously, I got a lot of mods inside here. So it's kind of raw, so just if you're looking for something specific, kick it up to 2-speed. I'm trying to come back and rename some of the videos later so you have actual timestamps. This is where I actually had broken my arm, using the first aid to try and repair my arm. And it's kind of cool the way the break comes in. Pretty sweet stuff. I forget you guys are not getting desktop audio, but if you want to see it, you know, go watch the video. But obviously, I did have a freeze at the end. So, buy rate back is going to set you on the right path. I'll keep, you know, putting the play tests and the load orders up. Obviously, there was a new iteration of Fallout 4, the update. FS4, F4 SE was updated. So sometimes it requires you to go back and add in some new mods. And generally when I do, I add in a couple more things. So I'm going to try these thermal visions later. But right now, I've got to make sure when I add things, I'll try and test to make sure I don't have any extra. I can figure out what's wrong. So, like I said, my load order is available over on Steemit. Fine, there. For the copy, there it is, but buy rate back will tell you, is just like any other modder will tell you, it's not just about load order. Sometimes it's about overwrites in the order that you need to do your overwrites in. Right, typically the overwrites that you want to do first, well, I can tell you what you would want to do last. You really need to do your patches, usability enhancements last. So you would do your item sorting first to change things. Your patches well, I'm thinking of working backwards, because I can think about the end of the process a little bit easier than I can think about going through from the beginning. So again, buy rate back guy that you go to tell you what to do first, and overwrite everything unless he says different. Read it. Tell you what to do. Okay. Now, when it comes to changing things, and you don't want to do a clean install to rebuild everything from the ground up, if you have a specific question, I would be willing to perhaps help you. So there you've got a quick look at what's new. Gosh, I'd love, and let me just add this, I would love to see Gentech grenades get a nice upgrade for better locational damage. These sniper rifles and such I can add in, but I'm getting a little nervous about adding in too many weapon mods, especially because, and the reason for that is, if you don't add them at the beginning, leveled lists get a little screwed up. So these actually have patches for better locational. Moss, the bullpup. Anarchist cookbook I haven't done anything with. Basically I have these for assets in case I was going to make a mod, but again, I'm time. And that would be so we could use these homemade scratch-made explosives. I think probably one of the best but most overlooked parts of Fallout is so many different things that you can do with explosives. I believe there's an old saying, you know, there's no problem that isn't solved without the application of high explosives. So having those options, especially in this beautiful grenade pack, expansion pack 2. Gentech grenades, just beautiful mods, but unfortunately they fail to work properly. And in fact, I even have, like I said already, I've got problems with remote explosives, and I have problems with better explosives, but only to a certain extent. I'm not quite getting the blasts that I would expect out of some of the types of grenades. There might be a little tweaking to do. You can really decide for yourself by looking at my gameplay. I do a lot of, I use a lot of it. All right, that's been Hank. Leave me a question if you got them. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.